14th of August, 2026. It's going to be a beautiful day, but a very hot day. Sunshine with about a 20% chance of an afternoon shower, 95 the high. Going to be a pretty good looking weekend, but 96 the high on Saturday, 97 on Sunday, and 99 on Monday. So be careful out there. We've got some very, very hot temperatures through the weekend, whatever it is you may be doing, especially like getting out there and doing yard work and stuff, Richard. You're like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Before you know it, you've got a heat stroke going on.
Yeah, you're on the ground.
Be careful out there.
Gasping for air. Don't do that.
Get out early if you can get out early.
Yeah. Your neighbors love that, by the way.
Yeah, the earlier the better.
That weed eater out there
at 5 a.m.
6, 7 a.m. Just, everybody loves that.
It's kind of changed things because, everybody's, my neighbor's got an electric lawnmower. The thing hardly makes any noise at all.
Yeah.
You could probably get away with that if you,
maybe.
If you had one of those.
Okay.
Doesn't make all the noise that a regular lawnmower does.
Knock yourself out. Mm-hmm. I have a solar-powered lawnmower.
Solar?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
How
does that work?
Well, I've had it for about 6 months, and I've mowed about 8 inches of lawn so far. So it really does a great job.
That doesn't sound like it's working very well.
Amazing how good it is. You'd love it.
I don't know about that. Jeez.
I'm looking for a nuclear-powered lawnmower.
Nuclear?
Try to get that thing done in about half a minute, Zoom, 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 done.
Wow.
I mean, speed is of the essence, in my opinion.
Would you get one of those robotic lawnmowers? Are you even interested in that?
I might. I might be interested in that. I do worry about it. My backyard is kind of a big hill, and I'm not sure that the thing
right off the end of that thing?
I'm afraid it would flip over like a box turtle and just be on its back, just running, yeah.
The dog's barking at it.
Exactly.
Dad, come look at this. This thing's on its back.
I don't think I want to play that game. But if I lived on a flat piece of land, I could absolutely see that.
Yeah.
I think that it
like
does
a football field.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a good deal of sense. I've seen them at work, and they go pretty quickly. Of course, when the grass is longer, like it is now, you kind of have to go a little slower, keep it from bogging down and whatnot. But just being able to sit there with a cool drink and watch your lawnmower do your work for you.
That's nice.
What's not to love?
Yeah.
What is
I
not to love?
I could get into that. No question about it.
Maybe I'll just modify my Roomba.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might need to try it.
I'm
thinking about it for my front lawn.
Yeah?
Because it's on that hill, that incline.
Yeah. You're not afraid about it?
Brutal.
Not afraid of it flipping over?
I don't know. Maybe I could wait on, put some weights on one side of it to keep it from tumbling down.
Or just have it mowed down and then back up again.
Yeah, you could do that.
My backyard doesn't work that way. There's no way you could do that in my yard. So it would be stuck with that.
Yeah.
I'm
going to need a bigger one, though. Instead of the Roomba, the vacuum, that's not quite big enough. You need a bigger one, right?
Yeah, they make pretty big ones.
Do they?
They're also very expensive. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, I'm sure the batteries are.
They're in about the $2,000 range. So.
Okie dokie. Yeah. Well, we'll just move right on along with that.
I thought as much. 7:08 our time, Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158. If you're looking to get your tree taken down and ground into the stump, they can take care of that for you. If you're just looking for a trim, just give it a little haircut. They can take care of that as well, and everything in between, of course, including potentially saving that tree. These guys are experts. They have been at this for a long time. They know what they're doing. They're fast and they're safe and they're licensed and bonded and insured, and all of that, of course, is stapled to the back of your lower than the other guy's estimate. I don't know how else to put it. They are the best in the business, and you can find out more at alabamatreepros.com, alabamatreepros.com. I've got nothing but positive reviews from people who I have recommended them to, and it's a lot of people. A lot of people, and every one of them has come back to me and said, man, you ain't lying. These guys are the best. 308-4158, alabamatreepros.com to find out more.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, both the U.S. and Iran are claiming that they have control over the Strait of Hormuz. I tend to kind of believe the U.S. and our military and our leader, President Donald Trump, that maybe we have a little bit better handle on it than Iran does. Iran just wants to act as if they have control over it, but just take a look. No ships in, no ships out. Their economy is a disaster. They don't really have a navy or any kind of military left. So I guess Donald Trump at this point, Richard, is just trying to see how economically we can maybe bring them to their knees, and that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I think sometimes an economic war does more damage than does an actual war. Just talking to Debbie about the Brink of War movie and how the United States brought the Soviet Union down. We did it simply by outspending them defense-wise, and they couldn't keep up and ended up having to just, break apart and let their people go. That was an economic war that, the Cold War, we won it that way. So maybe we can win this one and maybe faster.
Yep, slowly but surely. Sometimes that's what it takes. There was a bit of a chaotic situation yesterday around St. Vincent's Hospital along University Boulevard. A Birmingham police officer was flagged down by a security guard at a McDonald's right there beside St. Vincent's. An employee apparently was assaulted by a man. Now, apparently this man was homeless and maybe dealing with some mental illness and believed to be very high on something, some kind of drug. The man crossed University Boulevard where the officer tried to detain the suspect. The suspect then fled back across University to the North Tower parking deck at St. Vincent's Hospital, where the officer tried to detain him. The officer then used his taser on the suspect. Without much luck, when you're really, really high on drugs, it tends not to really have much effect. Then a struggle ensues between the officer and the suspect. The officer then not left with much choice but to pull his handgun and fire that at the suspect. I think there were about just under a half dozen rounds fired, eliminating the threat. So this homeless person is deceased now. No one in the hospital, no patients or visitors or doctors or nurses that go in and out of that parking deck were injured. I think this officer did the best that he could do with the situation that he was put in. And when you're fighting over a taser, it may end up being you that doesn't come out of that very well.
Yeah. So now that guy's both homeless and lifeless. And all of this took place approximately 1 block over from where I used to live over there.
Is that
I used to live right on the other side of the block that parking deck faces. So I know exactly where that was and how it went down and what a nightmare that has to have been. And I know police officers don't like doing this.
Nope, they don't. And again, it shows it. I mean, he said, this guy's high as a kite and may not even know what he's doing. I'm going to use the taser to see if I can subdue him and get him in handcuffs, because the last thing he wants to do is to, pull out his,
service revolver and shoot somebody dead.
Somebody. I mean, you don't want to have to do that. But again, if you're on the ground struggling with somebody, sorry. Yeah. I mean, this is the way it's going to, and thank God that he's okay. The officer is okay.
Yeah, he had a home to go to.
Yep.
And a family, probably.
Yep, he sure did.
He motivated.
All right, so the problem appears to be the stadium when it comes to the Birmingham Stallions. They first talked about leaving the city a few weeks ago, but the UFL co-owner is trying now to find a way to bring them back. So they're looking at buying some land. They want to do like about 100 acres or so and build a stadium, potentially maybe some retail and offices and things like that. Trussville is one of the locations. Hoover near 459 and I-50. Vestavia Hills at Liberty Park. They are thinking of building an 8,000 to 12,000 seat stadium. The thought is that Protective Stadium was just too big, holding 47,000 people. So they also looked at the Hoover Met, but apparently schedule-wise, that's not going to work. So will they do this? I don't know. If they do, they're looking at a date of 2029 to open up the stadium. I wonder, residents in Hoover, do you want the stadium over there not far from the Hoover Met? What about you, Trussville and Liberty Park? I don't know how residents feel about a stadium this size. Is this something that excites them, or they're like, nope, not in our backyard? I don't know.
Well, and here's the other question. How many stadiums do we need?
Yeah.
We've got Legion, we've got Protective, we've got the former Regions Field, Hoover Met.
Right.
We're going to build this. By the way, the Birmingham Legion, when they first started, were playing on the soccer field that the UAB Blazers used.
Right.
The soccer team, not the football team.
Right. Yeah, I know.
So we have that.
Yeah.
We have that size of stadium. Go over there.
Yeah, it feels like south. If you take Birmingham Metro south of town, we've got some of this. Trussville maybe not. I wonder if maybe Trussville might be open to it because of how that whole city is booming and things around it are booming and it's really developing, that they might say, hey, we could use a stadium like that. We'll welcome the UFL and then maybe we can use it for other things up here in Trussville.
It is relatively accessible.
Yeah.
St. Clair County, part of it's in St. Clair County. And you can get there from 459. You can get there from 2059. You can get there from, Clay Chalkville Road or Highway 11, depending on where they're going to put this thing. There's a lot of options over there, not that far from downtown Birmingham. If they people want to make that travel. And I wonder how many people didn't go to Protective Stadium because no place to tailgate, no place to parking is kind of a pain over there.
Yeah.
And it was just a long way. I mean, if I'm coming from Trussville, I don't really want to make that trip or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Again, you're talking about putting the Birmingham Stallions on hold in another city for a very brief period of time. And what I'm reminded of is when I was unemployed back in about 2009, and I was applying for all of these jobs, and they were like, "You're overqualified for this job." I don't care. I just want a job. Yeah, well, what's going to happen is you're going to get a better job. You're going to leave us. So we don't want to hire you. So I kind of feel like other cities are going to be looking at the Birmingham Stallions and going like, "You're here for 2 years? No. If we're going to get a franchise, we want a franchise and we want it forever. So, you need to work on that."
Yeah, I don't know. And what do you call them? Still the Birmingham Stallions? You call them the Trussville Stallions
Yeah,
or
well, that's
something completely different?
A fair question. Well, the Birmingham Bulls play in Pelham, and they still call themselves the
Yeah, I guess
Birmingham
so.
Bulls, don't they?
Yeah.
Better than the Pelham Penguins.
Yeah.
7:17 with Dixon and Vining. 545-9950 should you wish to opine on any subject. You can also download the app and drop us a line there. We'd love to hear from you. He wants to rock. 721 Dixon Inviting Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Hot Friday, hot weekend in store. Small chances of rain every afternoon. I would not count on it. I would not rely on it. It's probably not going to get you where you want to go. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if you know about this, and this may come as a shock to you, but a lot of African Americans who smoke menthol.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? Bet you didn't see that coming.
What is it with the menthol? I don't know what that is.
I wish I knew.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have a friend who smokes menthols. I asked him why.
Are we just stereotyping? Is it a stereotype or is
no,
that reality?
This friend of mine is white.
Yeah.
And I asked him, why do you smoke menthols? He said, it was the first cigarette I tried. And, he said, I fell in love with smoking almost immediately. I've been smoking for most of my life, and it's always been menthols. He said, I've tried regular cigarettes, can't stand them. And I thought, well, back when I smoked, I was the exact opposite. I started on non-menthols, and if someone handed me a menthol cigarette and I took a puff, I'd be like, nope. Nah, it's like smoking a mint. Not going to do that. Forget it. But I bring it up because UAB is getting $783,000 from the National Institute of Health and the Department of Health and Human Services to conduct a study on why black menthol cigarette smokers tend to relapse into the habit more frequently than any other smokers.
That's interesting.
It is.
That's a lot of money.
According to the grant summary provided by the U.S. Department of Treasury, the study is designed to determine what causes momentary lapses for black menthol smokers, stating that black cigarette smokers, 85% of whom it claims smoke menthol cigarettes, suffer excess tobacco-caused morbidity and death, including cancer. It also says black people have greater nicotine dependence. Interesting.
85%.
85%.
No wonder they do need to do a study on this.
Yes, you don't run across that many. If you do run across white menthol smokers, it's either like my buddy who that was the first cigarette he ever had, and so that's what he stuck with, or a lot of females with your Virginia Slim ultra light menthol 100s.
Yeah, Virginia Slims made it sexy to smoke the menthol.
Sure, you smoke these, you become a great tennis player.
Well, they had the little skinny lady on the package.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I could look like that.
Yeah,
take away your appetite and you'll be just fine.
Look, it's worked for a lot of women, the Smoke Yourself Thin plan. It's
so maybe I ought to take up smoking.
Menthol.
Man too.
Menthol versus non-menthol cigarette smokers, especially black smokers, have a greater dependence on nicotine and are less likely to quit smoking despite having more quit attempts, the study reads. This may be partly due to greater abstinence-induced declines in positive mood/effect and nicotine cravings. However, there are limited data on the underlying mechanism that explains smoking lapses among black menthol smokers. Prior studies have used ecological momentary assessment to examine how negative effect nicotine cravings and contextual factors predict a cigarette smoking lapse in real time. Understanding these underlying mechanisms will help us develop effective cessation interventions for black menthol smokers. To put that in plain English for you, black menthol smokers derive more pleasure from their cigarettes because it hits the dopamine level a little bit harder for them. And they need a little extra something when it comes to quitting. Quitting is hard. The number one way of quitting is always going to be cold turkey. That is like your best bet when it comes to quitting. You put them down, you don't pick them back up again. But there are a couple of other ways, obviously. There are people who have used placebo cigarettes, drifting away from the nicotine and getting into things like clove cigarettes that are not as addictive, but you still have that hand-to-mouth thing. You can put those down. People have gone to vapes.
Yeah,
a lot of people have moved cigarettes into vaping, and then sometimes they just get stuck on vaping and they stay there forever. Other times they're able to put them down. Will, the Chubb father, he smoked cigarettes like a bandit and switched over to vaping, and now I don't think he even vapes anymore. I think he's put that down as well, just trying to stick around for his kids.
Yeah.
Wants to make sure that he can do that. So coming up with new ways, like what is it that is triggering African-American menthol smokers? What is it that keeps them smoking and keeps bringing them back more so than anybody else? As a former smoker, I can tell you, day 3 for me, and I quit 3 times. I know this sounds weird. I quit 3 times. I smoked 7 years. I quit once for a year. I picked it back
Why'd you
up
pick
again.
it up? Yeah, something happened.
Yes, it was the 2000 presidential election. Remember, Florida was in, Florida was out, Florida was in,
Yes,
Florida was out.
yes.
My sister-in-law had been to our house and had left a pack of Camel Lights there, and I'd stuck them in the refrigerator because I didn't know when she was going to be back, but I was going to save them for her. But that was my brand when I smoked.
Ooh, that's
So-
tempting. That's like having
Oh, it was
chocolate sitting on the counter.
I didn't think anything
like,
about
oh.
it until I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning watching that, Florida's gores. No, Florida's bushes. No, Florida's gores. And I broke out the cigarettes and I started smoking and I never looked back.
Dang election.
It was bad, man. It was
Jeez.
bad. And of course.
And she comes back in town. Where's
Yeah.
my pack of cigarettes? Sorry, I smoked them all.
Smoked them all. Of course, not much later than that, we had September 11th, 2001, so that was difficult. Anyway, I smoked for 7 years. I quit again. I quit. That was the third time, I believe, that I quit. That was it. And I stayed quit that time. But I smoked 3 separate times for 7 years each.
That's interesting.
And each time that I quit, it was day 3 that was the hardest for me. Day 3, and you're looking at and I found out that for me, a lot of people are like, get all the ashtrays out of here, get all the cigarettes out of here. I don't want to see them. I don't want to think about them. I want them all out of my house. I was the exact opposite. I was like, nope. I carried a pack of cigarettes in my pocket with me
Oh, Richard.
the whole time because that way, it was normal for me because if I didn't have that weight there, I'd be thinking about it, right? And B, if I was quitting, it's because I wanted to, not because I didn't have any cigarettes,
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
So I carried
Mind over matter.
the first 2 times I carried that pack of cigarettes with me for about a month each before I gave it away. Somebody on the street would be like, hey, you got a cigarette? I got a whole pack. How about that? There you go. I'm done. I'm free and clear. But I'd carry them around for a month. It usually took me about 10 days to break the physical habit, the physical addiction to nicotine, and then a little bit longer. The third time I used something called laser acupuncture.
Seriously?
I kid you not.
Oh.
I thought it was the biggest bunch of crap I'd ever heard.
Did it work?
I was in
No?
Orlando, and they said, do you want to quit smoking? I said, yes, desperately. It was 2007, and I was like, I've done it. Here we go again. I've done it for 7 years. I'm at my wit's end. I have to stop this. And they said, well, you can do some live endorsements for this company if you go use them to quit smoking. I show up, and they're like, smoke your last cigarette before you show up here because you're not going to smoke again after you leave. I'm like, yeah, right, okay. So I did. I smoked a cigarette. I put it out on my way in the door. They said, give us the remainder of your cigarettes. I'm like, I don't really like this. And nope, this is the way we do it. So they took the last couple of cigarettes away from me in my pack, took me into a room, used this laser device that was like acupuncture on my hands, a little bit on my face, my ears, between my eyebrows and whatnot. And when I got up 45 minutes later to leave, I felt like I had taken the world's largest Valium.
Oh.
I was just like, I was completely spacey, but I was totally there and alert and awake.
Yeah.
And
Did you have somebody drive you home?
no, I drove myself, and my then wife called up and asked me to go to Kmart and buy her a carton of cigarettes. I'm like, this is cruel.
No. No.
But I went and I bought them, and I didn't think twice about it. I got in the truck, and I reached for that pack of cigarettes because it's like a trigger. Get in the truck, smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
I reached for the pack, and it was like, it's not there, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. It was the easiest thing easiest quit I've ever done.
Well, that's pretty cool.
You ever find a way, you run across that laser therapy, man,
It
and you want to
works.
quit, do it. I don't know about you, but any day I wake up and I don't have a U2 album that I didn't ask for downloaded onto my phone is a good day.
It just appears.
What the hell were they thinking? I remember going to the gym and finding that on my phone. It had just automatically downloaded onto my phone, and I was like, I don't want this on here. I mean, I listened to a little bit of it. I was like, it's not bad, but I'm not that big a U2 fan, and it's just taking up space. They wouldn't let me remove it. I couldn't take it off. They finally, they got enough complaints. They're like, okay, we'll make it so you can take it off.
You will listen to this, and you will like it.
No, thank you. 7:36 with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk99.5.com.
You know, with a summer with as much rain as we have had this year, we're finding out how good or how maybe not so good our gutters are working. They're important for your home. Listen, I noticed, there was a house I passed by the other day, and it really was. It was pouring down rain, and I could see the rain going over the gutter and just destroying all the landscape that was underneath it. I was like, well, these guys need Noble Contractors and Daniel to come out and fix what's going on. If you're dealing with a similar situation when we get the heavy rains, the gutter should work properly to move the water, down the gutters and down the gutter spouts and away from your home and away from the foundation. You know how they're supposed to work. And if they're not doing that, it's a good time to call Daniel at Noble Contractors and let him come out and take a look at what's going on and fix it. If you need gutter covers, he certainly has those, and he loves it when you go ahead and get a estimate from one of these bigger national companies that you see all the time, because he'll come in after that and just say, look, let me give you a free estimate. Let me show you how inexpensive it really can be compared to some of these national companies. So be sure to get an estimate. He doesn't mind. Let him come out and give you that free estimate and tell you how he's going to put the gutters up and put the gutter covers on and the different colors that you can pick from. Maybe you want to do something that really pops and makes your house look fantastic. Maybe you got a barn that needs some gutters, whatever it may be. Daniel can do it for you. Tell him that I sent you 10% discount on those new gutters. You have repairs that need to be done, he can do those. If you've got gutters that are all gunked up with stuff, he can come out and fix that as well. So just talk to him about it. He's got financing available too, as low as 0% for 21 months. Discuss that with him. NobleContractorsALA.com. Here's his phone number stored in your phone. You never know when you're going to need him. 422-3034, 205-422-3034. Make Daniel your gutter guy. He's my gutter guy. Noble Contractors.
Well, here we have another one of these lists that is complete bunkum. Anytime I get a chance to break one of these out for you.
A bunkum list?
Bunkum. Complete and utter bunkum.
Okay.
It's from The Kitchen. Story is by Alexandra Foster, and it has to do with what soft drinks is number one in which state.
Oh, these are fun,
Yeah.
aren't they? We're already saying no to Alabama. I feel it.
I can feel it coming.
Actually, I'm not as jaundiced about this list as I have been about others. There are there's some stuff here that does make sense. However, when you look at the methodology, as is usually the case with this, because a lot of times they'll be like, what was Googled the most? Okay, that's not a thing.
Good, yeah.
You
It's
know?
just people doing research.
Exactly. I mean, I Google all kinds of stuff. It's not something that you should definitely be judging me by or say, oh, this is the most this or that or the other thing because Dixon Googled it a lot. No, that makes no sense. So their methodology is kind of goofy. We all know that the number one soda in the United States is Coca-Cola. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you would
pretty
think
good
so.
stretch.
Yeah.
it's not even close, okay? And number two and number three and so on and so forth, we have a pretty good idea. So in order to find the most popular soda brand per state, Instacart calculated the share of sodas sold on the Instacart platform in each state as well as in the United States overall in 2025. Oh, okay, so we're going with Instacart.
Well, there's a lot
At
of
least
people
you're going
that
with
don't.
sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I
a
get
niche.
it. It's a very small
It's a niche,
of
yeah.
sales, but
It's-
at least you're going with numbers.
But it's only sales through Instacart. And there
Sure.
are people out
Yeah.
there like myself who would never use Instacart in a million years. I think it's a certain person that uses Instacart. They're going to be of a certain income level, right? I mean, in order
Yeah.
to have your groceries delivered,
Or you're young
yeah.
and dumb and don't know any better that you're blowing your money in a wrong way.
I suppose that's true, yes.
You're like, oh, it's easy. I'll just spend
Don't hold
the money.
back.
Yeah.
I'll spend- Well, it's true.
It
I
is-
have a,
it
you
is
know,
true.
you know when you
Some
have someone in
experience
the
with that?
house, and I'm like, what the heck? Go get it. Just it's
Yeah.
right down the street.
Yeah, it's not that far away. In fact, the store's on the way home.
That's right.
Swing by.
You went right past it
Get
and
what
then
you want.
ordered it on Instacart. What the heck?
Okay.
All right. So, anyways.
So here's why I think maybe this isn't as bad a list as some others I have run across. Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Virginia, Arkansas, Missouri, Texas, and several other states have the same favorite soft drink. It's Dr. Pepper.
I would disagree with that completely. I would say Coca-Cola number one.
But
I don't,
Dr. Pepper does
really?
Yeah.
generally get up there in the top 2 or 3.
Exactly. I'm not going to
on
argue
sales
with Dr.
almost
Pepper.
every time.
Not going to argue with Dr. Pepper, especially if you're just going through Instacart. It makes some sense because people love Dr. Pepper. The people who love Dr. Pepper love Dr. Pepper. You're one. You drink it, don't you? Not that much.
I will
but
occasionally.
you don't-
I'll drink a Dr. Pepper or a Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Yeah. I mean,
Mr. Pibb is just Dr. Pepper that didn't go to medical
Coke
school.
is probably first.
Yeah.
And then if one of the fountain drinks outside, like you're going to get a burger or something, if they have a root beer, love me some root beer.
But you don't even really drink a lot
No,
of
I
soft
do
drinks.
not drink
Not your
many
thing.
soft. I do not. Mm-mm.
I get
Very
it.
rarely.
Well, anyway, I'll put it this way. It's not as far-flung as some of the others when they say, like, oh, Alabama's favorite candy is Skittles. You're like, no, it's not. It's not. You're not even close. Stop it. Some of the others that they have, well, I'll just give you the list here. This is easy. In a sweeping majority, the most popular soda brand was Dr. Pepper, which took the cake in a whopping 17 states. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Idaho, Kansas, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nevada, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, Virginia, and Wyoming. According to its website, the beloved soda is said to be made from a variety of 23 flavors and is the oldest major soft drink in America, first sold in 1885. So it seems fitting that it took the top spot. You know, most people are drinking it at 10, 2, and 4, from what I understand. I don't know if that's true. Next up in second place was Canada Dry Ginger Ale.
Second place?
Pretty
Yeah.
sincerely disagree with
Oh,
that.
come on.
I'm with you. That seems
There's no
absurd
way.
to me.
How many states are supposedly using that as their number one?
Came in hot in 8 states, nestled in the Northeast: Connecticut, Maine, Maryland, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Vermont.
Well, those are all weird people anyway.
You're right. Yeah,
They're weird, but they're not that weird.
pretty weird.
That is, Canada Dry would think would be really low with everything else that's out there.
I mean, according to the percentage of sales in the United States overall, they came in 10th.
Yeah. So again, not
Weird.
amongst people who are using Instacart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you really screw things up, you know? In third place was Mountain Dew, which took the top spot in 6 states: Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, South Carolina, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. It was invented in 1940 by brothers in Tennessee, where the number one soft drink is Dr. Pepper. Sorry. Next up in fourth place, Diet Coke, which reigned supreme in Illinois, Massachusetts, Utah, and Washington. Soda was first introduced in 1982, contains no sugar or calories but aspartame. Gives it its sweetness. 3 sodas tied for fifth place. One was Classic Coke in Florida, Georgia, and Louisiana.
Only 3 states.
3 states.
This is not making any sense.
Next was Diet Mountain Dew in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Lastly, Diet Pepsi was tops in Iowa, Nebraska, and
Where's
Oregon.
just Pepsi? Before Diet Pepsi.
Patience.
Oh, okay.
Patience.
It's on the way.
We're running out of it.
Coke Zero then came in first in California and Hawaii.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Introduced
Now
in-
that is, I would believe
You
that.
believe that?
Yeah.
Introduced in 2005 and similar to its Diet Coke cousin, Coke Zero has 0 calories and 0 grams of sugar, but more closely replicates the flavor of classic Coke, which I love. Finally, the last 4 states were in a league all their own. Pepsi came in first in Delaware only.
Blame Joe Biden.
Schweppes
Pepsi's like
Ginger Ale.
great. We got-
Schweppes Ginger Ale,
Schweppes?
yeah.
Schweppes.
First in New York. Sundrop reigned supreme in North Carolina, and Verner's Ginger Ale took the top spot in Michigan.
This is such a bogus.
What ginger
This is
ale?
a bogus list.
Burners.
Verner's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had Verner's. It's very gingery. Yeah, this is just goofy. Like
This is bad.
At some point, you go like, you're not really.
You're not even trying.
Well, you have to take into account other factors. For
Right.
instance, if you go into somebody's home and you say, like, people who have young children are more likely to get cancer earlier than people who don't have any kids. And you go, did you take into account that some of these people are smoking? Oh, right, we forgot about that. Well, there's cigarettes involved. What are you doing? You have to take into account everything. So when you look at the Instacart thing, you're like, you're dealing with a niche of people here.
You got to do Instacart. If you want to use Instacart, that could be part of it. But you got to do overall sales, like grocery store sales,
Yeah.
Walmart sales.
Yes.
I mean,
Convenience store
yeah,
sales.
convenience
Absolutely.
store, right? This is
I did find the North Carolina one interesting. And the only thing that could make me think that might actually have some truth to it is because the race fans and both Dale and Dale Jr. were sponsored for a time by Sundrop.
Okay.
and I started thinking, and this was just my mind with Dr. Pepper, is all of the football that we watch, college football, how they have the throw the ball into the little bucket thing, and I
All
was like,
brought to you by Dr. Pepper?
and they give
Yeah.
away all that money to college students. I was like, maybe it's just a little campaigning that they do that
And
kind of gets everybody's attention.
Larry, that annoying Dr. Pepper guy, who I really liked, actually.
Yes.
It was a pretty good campaign. And then the Dr. Pepper Village that they're in now.
Yep.
Fan Village.
Fanville,
Fanville,
yeah, exactly.
So they've
Fansville,
they
okay.
do a pretty good job with that through college football.
But look
So-
at what isn't on this list. There's no 7-Up.
No.
There's
Or Sprite.
No Sprite. No Diet 7-Up. No Diet Sprite or Sprite Zero.
There's a single
There's
root
nothing
beer on there.
orange, no orange drinks.
No orange drinks and no root beer.
Yeah, no root beer. That is crazy.
It does seem weird to me
What's
that
the
there's not a
matter?
single one of these things made the list, which is why I again say I think once you introduce Instacart into the process,
Sundrop.
creates a
I mean,
situation.
Sundrop got ahead of no root beer, not a single root
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
And you put Sundrop in there.
All right.
Vernon's ginger ale. What?
Verners.
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 Is
Okay.
I think it's Verners. Yeah.
So, again, according to industry sales from Beverage Digest, here's your top 10 sales in the United States. Number 10, Canada Dry Ginger Ale.
Okay.
Number 9, Fanta,
Fanta.
mostly orange and mostly for its orange flavor. 8, Diet Pepsi. 7, Coke Zero Sugar. 6, Mountain Dew. 5, Diet Coke. 4, Pepsi. 3, Sprite. 2, Dr. Pepper, and 1, Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we once again have run across a list that is, what did I call it? Pure bunkum?
It is. You said it.
There you go.
You warned us in the beginning, Richard.
Well, I try to
Thank
telegraph
you.
these things whenever I can.
Appreciate it.
7:48 with Dixon inviting. Stick around. 7:51. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk99.5.com. Parrott Structural Services bringing you portions of today's show. When your foundation starts to give way, you need Parrott on the case. They're going to come by and give you a diagnosis and a prognosis, and they will frequently say, there ain't nothing wrong with your house. It's just normal settling. Now, if that's not the case, they're going to be honest with you as well. But it's imperative that you make that call sooner rather than later, 668-2626. Visit their website at parrottss.com. The longer you wait, the more damage is done, the more work has to be done, the more expensive it becomes. They're also the ones who are always going to say, get a structural engineer to back us up. We want to make sure that you know that we are being 100% on the up and up with you. Parrott Structural Services, 668-2626, parrottss.com. Licensed, bonded, insured, E-Verify compliant. Rob G. drops this line, says, say you're old without saying you're old. Richard, the officer didn't want to use his service revolver. End quote. Yes. I knew as I was saying it, I was like, I'm pretty sure they don't use revolvers anymore.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I think
Mostly,
they're using
mostly
semi-autos.
Glocks, yeah.
They got the Glocks out there. I know where they buy them too. Ann says, I just don't see the Birmingham Stallions being able to stay here. It's just a spring league. They're not affiliated in any way with the NFL or any of the NFL teams. Just don't see it doing well here. They tried twice already and it didn't work. Yeah, I wonder if maybe they do someday maybe merge with the NFL, though. If the NFL doesn't start taking them seriously, they hired a lot of stallions. The NFL brought a lot of stallions up to their league once they saw how well they were doing at our level. And it could feasibly be, a kind of a farm team system for the NFL, or a second farm team system after college, of course. Something to think about. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Greg says, remember when we were going to build a dome stadium? What a joke that would have been. I'm pleased and proud to have been one of the people who fought the hardest against that. I thought that was one of the most ridiculous things ever. If you remember the MAPS project, the first thing they said was, it's going to pay for itself in tax revenue. And
we'd be in big trouble.
Once someone sat down and did the math on that and came up and said, it doesn't even come close to paying for itself. Well, it'll pay for itself because we're going to get so much business and so much extra business out of it. So we started comparing Birmingham to other cities of our size that had a dome stadium, like San Antonio and so on. And it came out that all these venues were losing money hand over fist, and it was just costing far too much. And it was like, and my question was always, the people who are fighting so hard for this, why are they fighting so hard for it? What is it that is in it for them?
That's exactly right.
Had a feeling there was some kickback money involved, or getting to decide who was going to be doing some of the building or whatever was going to give them some power, that was going to get them some money on the back end. I don't know. I'm so glad that thing died 1,000 deaths, because it was absolutely wrong. Dan says, I'd bet that poor people smoke more. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true or not. I know I smoked more when I was poor, and now that I'm filthy rich. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Angry Trucker says he used Chantix to quit after smoking for 35 years, been quit almost 8 years.
Good for you.
Could probably smoke a pine tree. Could wind it up.
Like that.
That laser therapy is fascinating, Dixon. Do you know if they still do it? You'll have to look around. I honestly don't know. Also, I know you're a pretty big Dead fan. Have you ever seen Fish? They're going playing in Huntsville in October. Must see live. I was a big Widespread Panic fan. They're very Dead-like, and so I've seen them a number of times. And now I'm just kind of out of the jam band game. I'm too old for that nonsense. I like power pop.
You're never too old.
Give me
come on, Richard. Never too old.
Give me a song that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, and I'm good to go. Hardest thing I ever had to quit was dip. Just finally got grossed out after 10 years.
Oh,
says Sammy.
Yeah.
Only reason Coke is because they're in the most of the fast food places and restaurants. It sucks without Crown, says Clint. Yes, that's right. That's why they're number one across the nation.
Because of
Thanks
Crown?
for your opinion.
Uh-huh.
Mike says, weird, I know, but I do see the Verners in Michigan, just saying. I don't doubt it, actually. Josh reminds us there is a wreck on 59 South just after Roebuck Parkway. 4 or 5 vehicles involved, no lanes blocked. It is only a left shoulder causing a cascading backup of traffic. Donna says, what I see a whole lot of in North Dakota is RC Cola. Okay. As Sheldon would say, pure hokum, says Wilson.
Well, there you go.
Dr. Pepper. City of Birmingham continues to this day to collect the 1% sales tax increase that the voters approved to pay for the Dome Stadium. It's somewhere close to $2 billion they have collected. Yeah, once they put a tax on it, it never goes away, Joe
Nope.
Daddy.
It's really hard to get rid of
Even
it.
if they put a sundown clause in it, they'll find a way to delay the sundown.
Yep.
Brian says, does the laser therapy work for alcoholism? They said that it works to cut back your alcohol use. I don't know. I've not tried it for that, but apparently there were people who did, so it must have worked to some degree. Steve-O, have you seen the latest Nation's Dumbest?
Yes.
Are you
Surprised who graduated.
Yeah. Are you beginning to notice a pattern that they sort of telegraph at the beginning of the show who's going to leave?
They kind of do, yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed in the past 3 episodes that whoever they're spotlighting at the start of the show is the one who ends up graduating. So I wish they wouldn't tip their hand like that.
No, they need to, the whole idea is to try and make you wait until the end.
Right.
But, the fun for me is watching just how stupid some of these people actually are confirming it.
Oh, my gosh.
And then realizing how stupid some other people are because I didn't think that they were.
Like Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall is just amazingly
Dumber than a box of rocks.
just
God bless
off
him.
the edge, man.
God bless him. Ice-T actually did surprisingly well, not this episode, but the one before.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, he was right there hanging in at the end. You're like, ooh, Ice might make it. No, that wasn't going to happen. That's a shame.
But Matt Leinart losing to Steve-O?
God.
What the?
I'm like, this guy was a college quarterback. He went to college.
Yeah.
You'd think maybe he would know these things. A little bit distressing, but a fun show nonetheless. I highly recommend it to anybody. It's on ABC.
What's it called?
It's called Nation's Dumbest.
Nation's
Yeah.
Dumbest.
You
Okay.
can find it on the Disney Plus app or Hulu, whatever.
Yeah, I catch it on Hulu. I don't even know what date it actually airs.
Every once in a while, and Jeopardy's in reruns right now, replaying all their tournaments from throughout the course of the year and such. But every once in a while, they'll come up with a category that's called stupid questions or stupid answers.
Yeah,
And basically, the answer is in the clue that they give you.
right.
And they did one of those in the most recent episode, which was, what town did Lincoln deliver the Gettysburg Address in?
Yeah,
And how many, I think, 2 got it right?
yeah, that was distressing,
What
wasn't it?
are you doing, people?
I mean, did you really not learn about the Gettysburg Address in school?
Ice-T went,
school.
I didn't even realize there was a town called Gettysburg.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Georgetown, Washington,
Yeah,
D.C.
Georgetown was like, really?
That
was Ice-T's answer, if I remember right.
Yeah. And Chase, that supposed influencer, what a moron.
Ugh.
Gave his address to who? The guy that shot him? Okay, never mind. It's 8 o'clock. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Nation's Dumbest. Check it out. It's fun.